today we're going to talk about new commerce strategies post COVID. But given that e commerce has been on a huge rise, my first question, and this is to all of you in general, what would you think would be the key differences in e commerce pre and post COVID? And I'd love to hear from you on both what impact has this had on consumer behavior as well as what impact has it had on marketers or companies quickly adapting to this new world where consumers are in panic resorting to e-commerce. So open to all of you. Anyone wishes to take a stab at it?
Okay, if I may start. Hi, Pawan.
Hi.
I think it's been like a complete roller coaster ride, to say the least. I think last 4 months, a lot of things which were never written in a marketing book, like we literally had to like kind of reinvent and kind of see every day as a new day, right? So largely we are an offline brand, right? I think one of the big change which I see right now, and we've been hearing it for years, and in many forums, for me, I think the omni channel has completely come alive right now, if you look at it, right? So finally it's the consumer is going to decide whether the consumer wants to come to the store, or you should be delivering to the customer, or the customer wants to book online and he wants to pick it up. So I think the choices are completely with the customer. I think that's a big shift which we have seen in our business. And therefore I think it's finally, I mean, it's always been about the consumer, but in this time I think because of the pandemic, the consumers are kind of fearful. So therefore I think the business had to react as per the consumer demand and the consumer need. And in this case, honestly, we didn't have time, so we literally had to like fix things in like 2 weeks. A brand like Big Bazaar, which was never really doing e-commerce in that sense, we literally had to like fix it and kind of launch it within 2 months, which we did. Like, it's a mobile version which we have it, shop.bigbazaar, which we launched it. But I think that's been a big fundamental shift in terms of the way we look at consumer, right? Finally is the consumer who's deciding how the businesses should be behaving, and I think business like ours, we are reacting to that. I think that's one big change which I see.
Very well said. So, Pawan, what you're telling us is that we're actually reacting to what the consumers want. And that's in what's showing in the statistics as well. So, there was a survey that was done by BCG, which says that India shows the highest surge in preference for e-commerce amongst all top nations. So they've done this survey across a number of countries, and India scored right at the top. And e-commerce actually continues to lead the growth for the overall economy in India as well. So these are some astounding numbers. Now, talking about numbers, I'd like to quickly go to Bhaskar, the king of numbers, and who would have everything on the world of e-commerce. Bhaskar, tell us from your perspective, what do you see as the key differences pre and post?
I think, hi Vani, and to my panelists and fun. I hope everybody is keeping safe during these very testing times. So, Pawan is really the light of fire, and he's doing everything because the consumer has already changed. And instead of throwing too many numbers at all of you, I want to share just one number, right, from the study that we have done on shopper behavior. 82% shoppers say that the way they have shopped has changed, right? And even the which has been done just before, right? People have bought gold, people have bought automobiles, and apart from many other things, and even grocery, of course. So I feel that retail as an industry has now accepted that omni-channel commerce is completely going to stay. So the behavioral change is going to outlast the pandemic itself. And I want to summarize this consumer behavior pre and post COVID into like classical marketers like 3 C's. One is convenience, second is conscious, and third is cautious. Yeah. Let me just double click on each of them a little bit. As Pawan has said, everybody is looking for more convenience than ever before, right? So the biggest gainer in this entire change is this your hyper local retailer, right, next to you. So because more and more people are starting to have more convenience, demanding more convenience, and they are really the biggest store available to you, no matter what you want to buy, is your digital store on your mobile phone, and that has been a big, really big behavior shift. And so the most important store, whether you have 100 stores or 1,000 stores, right? The most important store for you continues to be your mobile store, right? The second is consumers are actually going to be very wallet conscious, and then value has become a very large component. If you see what is selling, a very high, very value conscious products are selling a lot more because combination of convenience and this whole consciousness of being more value is important. And the last is people have actually become very, very cautious, right? So earlier you were going to a store to surf, what do I like, and explore and spend as much time as possible, etc. But today the time spent on mobile phones have actually increased to almost 4 to 4.5 hours a day, which means that they are spending inordinate amount of time because your phone has become the last point of contact and not the first point of contact anymore for majority of all of us. So I just want to summarize by saying that for retailers, footfalls have always been a priority all this while. But going forward in the post-COVID era, I would say finger falls would be as important or more important than
Very
footfalls.
interesting.